Alright, back on our knuckle motor. So today we're going to try to finish this thing up. It doesn't fight me anymore. So we get the gear cover area put together now. So I got to set up all my gear stuff here, my cam in play here, and then make sure all this stuff works. But number one problem first is to get this cam drive gear on here without knocking the crank out of true by beating the hell out of it putting it on. So we're going to try putting a little heat on that sucker and see if it'll just drop right on like it's supposed to be. And it should go down to where it's not quite flush, but let's see what height we need. It looks like on this bike it has to be below flush because the bushing sticks up in the air. So that means we got to go below flush of the surface here. And the shaft is about 1/8 inch down. So that's about 3/16 down to the shoulder of that. So that means this needs to be just above the surface there, about a 1/16 max. Like that would be adequate. So you can also go down to flush. Eventually it will beat it, it will slide itself out until it rubs on this bushing here. Okay, so we need to get that to go on there. And right now the big fat spot right there is in the bottom. So it goes in the bottom. Now, if it doesn't go in, we've got to beat it on with a hammer. So let's get something to beat on. I have my special metric tools right here I use for that purpose. Because metric ain't worth a squat for anything else in the world. So you want to make sure it will go over this without hitting anything important. It will stop when it hits here. It's not going to damage that, so that's perfect. So just come in and go tap, 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 tap with that, and if it doesn't go all the way down, just by dropping on. Now what I don't want to do is have it hitting on the flywheel like I am right now over there. I'm beating on into that, even though it's probably close to it already because I'll be beating on it. You're beating on the crank anyway, so whether it's hitting against the case on the bushing or on here, it's going to make it move. It's about equal. Either way, I'm going to put a piece of wood on the back side there. Let's see, I've got to use this one here. Still using San Diego Customs shelf here. I cut it up for important work. Okay, that should stay put right there without falling. Jam something like that under to keep it from moving. Blocks it in, so if it falls it won't go very far. Okay, these two things here to beat it in, that's in the way. Okay, important tools are there, there, and there. I'm going to heat this up with a torch until it's hot enough to burn me. I'm going to use our torch right here. You go there. Okay, I need a set of pliers to hold it with. Probably channel locks would be best. Just have a big set of those right here. Don't need to be a big set, but it'll work. They were nearby. Boom, we go like that, put on there, and it should slide right down if we're lucky. That is the plan. Wonder how close the plan's going to work. Now, as long as you heat the gear up to under 500 degrees, you're not going to ever hurt it. If you go over 500 degrees, at some point it'll start losing heat treat. Until it starts turning blue, I'm not too concerned about it. Yellow is okay, not the best, but blue is definitely not nice. So we're going to heat it up a little bit and see what we can do. I'll put my Kevlar gloves on too so I don't burn myself. Theoretically I shouldn't be touching anything, but if the gear drops on the floor I got to pick it up. Probably use my hands. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Just going to use a simple rosebud tip. Probably a better way of doing it is with a hot plate, because you can adjust the temperature on that and just lay it on there and let it warm up for about 10 minutes. Be just as good. I like using the old spit test for temperature control. sizzles really, really good. It's hot. Heat up equally. That didn't sizzle at all. It's only up to a couple hundred degrees. Going to sizzle a little bit. A little bit more. One more of these ought to do the trick. Oh yeah, it's definitely a sizzling spitball now. You can also see the smoke coming up off it. That's a good sign also. That means she's pretty warm. And of course I put my pliers way the hell over here where I can't use them. Okay. Let's see if we're lucky to get it right down. That's where we have our... Not quite. Oh, that wasn't too bad there once it's starting to move. Oh, there we go, right there. Perfect. That did no damage to the crank at all. It was a little tight going over the initial hit and then kind of slid on about halfway pretty easy. I'm just above the surface of the shaft, so we should be fine. Actually, got to be up at least the height of the bushing there. So we should be fine. That's going to cool itself off pretty quickly. Alright, that worked pretty good. I'm happy with that. I would guess that's probably up to about 600 degrees on that. It was smoking the residue finger marks off of it. So usually that's in the 450, 500 area pretty easily. And 550, so I don't see no yellow, so I don't think I hit more. I probably didn't hit 6, but I think I was in the 5s. Who needs a temperature gauge? Just use your head. Okay, she's cooling off. These help. I can hold on pretty hot with these, but it's warm. Alright, we'll give it a couple minutes to cool off and we'll be back.